So a few of you asked me to show you how to do fonts and icons, which you can take a look at what that looks like right now. Schnazzy, there it is. Got some cool icons. We'll talk more about those later, so don't worry. But for now, I want to have everyone submit their work to GitHub so I can take a look at it. Here's what we're going to do. In your terminal, I want you to cd into the directory that holds your index.html and style.css file. So for me, that's called Bootcamp. So I'm going to cd into Bootcamp, and it should look like this. I'm going to make this whole page a little bigger so you can see what I'm doing. So when I cd into Bootcamp, I now should say workspace, Bootcamp, and inside there I have my index.html and my style.css file. I'm going to move this Google Mondrian out to the outside one. So I just have those two files in there. Now, when I do this, all I need to do to get started and to make sure I can submit this to GitHub is I have to type in git init. Now, Git is a version control system. That just means it's a save point. It allows you to save versions of your code, sort of like Google Drive allows you to save versions of your Google Docs and Google Sheets, so we can go back to any save point over the past couple classes and revisit the code or restart our code from there. Now, actually, when you actually start coding seriously, professionally, you'll be saving your code nonstop. So what I'm about to show you right here, you should probably do between 10 and 20 times over the course of the last couple videos. Now that we've created a git init, what that's done is it's initialized the git version control system inside our Bootcamp directory. So it even tells you initialized, which means started, an empty git repository in whatever it is. And now when you do that, you'll see this new thing appear right after the name of your directory. It says master. That's known as the branch. Don't worry about it, but if you see it, we're good to go. The next command I'm going to teach you is to type in git status. So just come here and type git status. And when you type git status, you should see it'll tell you a little bit more. It'll tell you which branch you're on, the commit, some untracked files, and it'll give you the red files that you need to look at. So right here it says untracked files. And then it actually tells you what to do. If you type in git add, the name of the file, it'll get that file ready to be saved, which we call committed. When you want to save a file, you commit. You create a commit. And a commit is a save point. It's the version that you want to save at that exact moment. It's your version control. So if you want to, all you can do, you can get all of your files ready for that at once by typing in git add space -- all. What that'll do is it'll take all the red files here and it'll get them ready to be saved immediately. So all we do is we hit enter, and all of these files are now ready to be saved. How do I know that? I can type in git status again, and they'll be green. It says great. Changes to be committed. So these two files, the new file for index.html and new file for style.css, are ready to be committed. They're ready to be saved. All we need to do that is type in a command called git commit -m for message, and then type in a message that reminds us what we did here. Completed HTML and CSS bootcamp with Silly Animals project. Period, end, quotation, and when you hit enter, it should do this. Great, two files changed, 181 insertions, which means we have 181 lines of code. Completed, it'll tell me the message, and it'll give me a little ID right there for the commit. So this is great. But right now, it's only saved into my Cloud9 computer. It's not saved anywhere else. To do that, open up a new tab and go to your GitHub page. GitHub page is like the Google Drive and LinkedIn for coders. GitHub is really cool because it allows you to save any version of your code at any time. Now, I already have my GitHub pulled up here, and I'll go more into GitHub later. But for now, once you've created a GitHub, all you need to do is click on that little plus sign in the top right. When you do that, click New Repository. By the way, notice the hover effects here on GitHub are almost the same as the navigation hover effects we created. Isn't that funny? I just realized that right now. It's not funny, you don't care? Okay, perfect. That's all that matters. Love you guys. So click new repository. When you do that, I'm just going to, for now, I'm going to name it Bootcamp. I'm going to make it public. And I'm going to click create repository. If you do this, and when you create the repository, it'll pop open with a bunch of stuff for you. And it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Notice how it says here to do git init, just like we did. Git add, which we don't need to do because we already have files. Git commit -m with a message, just like we did. And then this line, which is the important line. Git remote add origin, and then a link. Do not worry too much about what that is. I didn't realize what it was doing for the longest, and I was still able to use it. It's less important that you know what that is right now than you can just know what you need to do. It's essentially saying I'm going to link whatever files I have in my Cloud9 to this GitHub. So if I copy this line right here and I go back into my Cloud9 and I type in and I just paste it in, it says git remote add origin, the whole thing, and I press enter. Now it's linked up, and I can type in git remote -v to find out exactly where it's linked. Cool. It's linked to my GitHub for JAster11 for the repository called Bootcamp. So the last thing I need to do is come in here and use this command right there. Git push -u origin master. And that will push all of my code up to GitHub. Git push -u origin master. Now what it'll do is it'll ask for your username. Mine is JAster11. Yours should be something else. Then it'll ask for a password. Now be careful here. It will not show that you're typing out your password at all. So it's not aware that it knows that you're typing it out, but it will not display any feedback to let you know that it's happening. So I'm going to type in my password here, and you can't even tell that it's happening, but it is. And I press enter, and if I get it right, ta-da! All of my code has now been automatically transported to GitHub. And if I go back here and I refresh this page, there's all of my code. My index.html, my style.css. I can click on them. I can look at them. I can love them. I am so happy. I am a coder. I am a gangster. And I am done with this bootcamp. Again, congratulations. You're all good. I want you to take this link right here, and I want you to copy and paste it into Slack so I can look at your code tonight, and just if you have any recommendations you need from me, or if you want some suggestions, I'll help you out with that as well. But congratulations to all of you. I'm going to end this video here, and this should end the video series and playlist for now. See you in the next one.